this one. And Red slams it home. Aaron Landry is going to go all the way to the house. Springfield wins the Division IIIA State Championship, beating Lunenburg 3-2, and then mugging Riley Grove.
All right, welcome to Frontier Field Hockey here on FCAT live streaming. Today, Frontier takes on a very well-diversified Athol team. The team members range from seniors all the way down to 7th grade. 7v7 with this COVID year of fall sports. And we are just finishing up the captain's talk with the refs, and we'll be breaking out onto the field shortly. Starting for Athol is Lily Rothburn, Krista Cucci, Riley Polana, Ashley Rulo, Sadie Letamaki, Abigail Kerwin, and in goal is Samantha Kenneth. Starting for Frontier, Emily DeMeo, Allison Barnes, Lila Roach, Devin Prusek, Rebecca Wallace-West, and Maeve Hewitt, with Ella Flanders and goalkeep. So we are looking forward to a really great game. Athol has a deep junior team. 2 seniors. No, not seeing sophomores. Hold on. No sophomores. 1 freshman, 1 8th grader, and 2 7th graders. So there's a lot of skill also to be developed on the Athol team in the future. So the team right now is heading out to the field, and we'll be getting started shortly. So as a recap, normally you have 11v11 on a full field, which is 100 yards long, and I believe 40 yards wide. And this year we're playing 7v7, still the full field, and no corners. So any infraction or penalty taken in the circle is going to be brought up to the 25 and brought in. So it looks like Athol is starting. The whistle. And Emily DeMeo is right in there with her stick, breaking up that forward push by Athol. Nice back pass to Rebecca. And we have an obstruction on Athol. Self-start by Emily DeMeo. But Athol defense is not giving up. Carrying it back over the 50-yard line. Center pass. And we have a foot on Frontier. Athol is doing a self-start with a drive into the circle. And we got 1 shot on goal, 1 save in that first quarter. Our quarters are running 15 minutes. And that was an obstruction. And self-start by Athol. Lila Roach wasn't 5 yards. You got to give them 5 yards distance till the ball is touched. Then you can go after the ball. They bring it around. They're in the circle. Rebecca Wallace-West Allison Barnes was in there. Some obstruction. Corner called. That's going back up to the 25. Perpendicular to where the offense took place. So here we go again. You got to carry it 5 yards before you can pass when you start on the 25 or below. And Athol is not going to make it easy today. They are being very aggressive. They're stepping to the ball. Lila is coming up the sideline. You can see her looking. She's nice quick stop, trying to get it to the center where Rebecca picks it up, carrying it up, trying to get it over the 50-yard line to Devin. Devin pulls it around, and that was an obstruction by Athol. Self-start, and moving towards this over the 25, moving into the circle. Self-start by Frontier. Okay, referee called it back so that it would be started from where the infraction was. So the reverse call there. I'm not quite sure what happened. A lot of times people talk about field hockey being a game of whistles and not really knowing what's happening. Okay, obstruction on Emily. Self-start. Tried to get a drive. Didn't get much behind it. That happens on these grass fields. Touched by Athol. Self-start with Rebecca Wallace-West. Does a nice back pass to Allison. And Allison drives it into the circle. Emily's right there, and they call obstruction on Emily. Self-start at the top of the circle for Athol. Athol hits it out of bounds. So Allison will start it on the sideline. And she's taking a look around. It looks like she's going for a drive. That is dangerous. She got some lift on that ball. So that's going to go back to Athol for a self-start. And it's playing on a grass field has its advantages. It also has its disadvantages. The smooth transitions and keeping the ball moving, it can just stop dead if it hits a divot. Maeve's doing a nice job moving around, passes it up front to Rebecca. Rebecca is got it over the 25, loses it to Athol. Athol and Lila's right in there, breaking up Athol's charge. So we have obstruction on Athol, moving the ball back to where the infraction took place, which is right around the 25. Allison's taking the self-start. Lateral pass over to Rebecca. Rebecca back passes to Maeve. Maeve drives it in, and Athol is right there to pick it up. So we have an obstruction on Frontier, self-start. Athol trying to get some territory here with some drives, but Maeve is there to pick it right back up, brings it back over the 50. We have a foot on Athol. Maeve starts. Gets it below the 25, but there's no Frontier players there to pick it up. Athol takes it. And Emily is fighting for the ball at this point. Trying just to be able to channel her, and gets called for obstruction. Took a bad bounce over two sticks. Athol recovers, gets it over the 25. Allison's there to stop. She's trying to get a stick on it. We have a foot on Athol, and Maeve self-starts. She gives it a nice drive. Devin is there. Devin passes it up, but there's nobody there to get it. Athol steps in, takes it. And Maeve is carrying it back up towards the 50. And I think we had a foot back to Athol, self-start. So she gets a nice drive. She gets it below the 25, right to Allison. Allison is playing defense, switching off as they shift from field to field. Sometimes she falls back into that sweeper position. Athol is right in their face. We have a lot of contact going on right now. And ball is over the 25, but Lila's there to scoop it up, pushes it forward to Devin. Devin picks it up on the outside, and it goes out of bounds. Athol ball. Athol passes it in, and Emily's there to recover it. Trying to get that pass up, and running into Athol. Forward momentum and keeping it on its stick. Rebecca's able to control the ball. Does a nice pullback. And we are below the 25. So right now for Athol we have All right, Maeve is making her way up into the circle. And recovering back, Maeve takes back her position as sweeper. And Lila centers it, goes across the center of the circle. No one gets a stick on it. Devin puts it back towards the circle. Emily's fighting with the stick to get it there. And we have a foot on Emily, and Athol recovers for the self-start at the top of the circle. So here once again, Athol's trying to make that push up the field to try to get over the 50 with Frontier in pursuit. Devin comes out to take a break, and Brooke Flanders is in for Devin. All right, we have a corner, meaning Athol's going to start at the top. You may have seen the ref's hands go up. He was holding that call why Athol had the advantage and was moving forward. Once that progress was stopped, he called the whistle for the corner. All right, so we have obstruction on Frontier's self-start by Athol. Athol's trying to get it in. No call there as they try to drive it into the circle. Lila recovers, passing it up to Emily. Emily's one-on-one with an Athol player. All right, making progress. Obstruction called on Athol. Lila's coming up the sideline. She does a quick pull, centers it, and Athol's there to recover the ball. Emily is trying. She was over the ball, which they call an obstruction. Ball goes back to Athol. Athol's over the 50, and Maeve is able to work her stick in there, recover. Got a lot of stick play going, and the refs are also, they're listening. If they hear a lot of stick smacking, they're going to call obstruction or hacking on the players, and a lot of times the offensive person doesn't get it called against them. All right, advantage right now is Frontier. Emily brought it up over the 50-yard line. She's looking to pass to the outside, and Athol was able to get a stick on it. Self-start Athol. Pretty well-matched team. We're going back and forth. A lot of running. This is an amazing time to be playing this sport. Alrighty. Ball lifted up into Frontier. So, and a drive. Still advantage Frontier on that. So we're having a lot of hacking going on right now. So, Chelsea Camp is in for Maeve Hewitt. And waiting on the sidelines is Savannah Upton. It looks like Coach Missy Maher is trying to get some fresh legs in there. And a lot of times it comes down to who is the best conditioned team. It's going to be a lot of running going on here. Rebecca's able to bring it up over the 50-yard line. Carrying it down. Does a back pass to Allison. Allison's looking and cuts back. It kind of piddled out on this grass. Once again, we talk about how the grass can really help or hinder you. And the ball's down in the circle with Athol trying to bring it back to the 25. And we have it out of bounds on Frontier Oh, they called the foot, so they're starting it just inside on the field. Self-start by Athol. Didn't get much behind that ball. And let's see. We have Frontier doing the self-start. And Savannah came in for Rebecca Wallace-West. Give her a breather. And Savannah's channeling the Athol player, which tries to put a drive on, but it doesn't happen. Allison jumps in front and steps towards the ball, which gives the advantage. Savannah has it inside the circle, shot on goal, save, another shot, save. And the ball is out. It's brought to the top of the circle by Athol. Athol will self-start from the top of the circle. Nice drive, bringing it up to the 50. It penetrates through several players. Allison has got her stick down, doing some defensive stick tackling. And Athol is just about to get it over the 50-yard line. So out of bounds on Frontier. Athol will bring it inbounds. So we have Shelby Clark waiting on the sideline to give someone a break, as well as Sadie Letamaki going back in. And we have Emily making a drive into the circle. Shot on goal. And a save, as well as a corner. So Frontier will start at the 25 with that. There were two. That was a very threatening attack. At that point, there were two other Frontier players right there in the goal. Once again, here we go. Starting to take a look. You got to carry that ball 5 yards. And she went for the drive, missed. Called dangerous, so Athol start. Athol's trying to bring it back over the 50-yard line into their territory. So Sadie is in for Lily Rothburn. Whoa, collision on the field, no call. And just like basketball, no field position advantage is going to go to the offensive player. And we have Brooke Flanders working on trying to get the ball away from the Athol player. Once again, a lot of back and forth. Obstruction called on Athol. So Frontier has the self-start just above the 25. This is a possibility. Oh, and we have the end of the first quarter. So there's a 2-minute break. This is the only opportunity the coach gets to talk to the team. There are no more timeouts this season. In a normal season, we would have coaches have the option of 2 timeouts for the whole game. With the new rules in place, since they are breaking up the 30-minute halves into 2 15-minute halves, they're able to have a 2-minute break between first and second quarter, as well as the third and fourth quarter. When we get to halftime, it can be up to a 10-minute halftime. That's a decision of the coaches to make as a together, and being able to how much time they need for recovery, as well as to make sure that the game is going to be finished in a decent amount of time before the sun sets, because we'll be rolling back clocks at the end of the month, and so it gets dark pretty quickly with these late starts. So right now coaches are discussing what do they need to do to be able to create those scoring opportunities. And Josh Levine is going to be joining us.
Wonderful day, Miss Chapley.
It is gorgeous. Look at we have some clouds in the sky. The sun is at an angle, but looking at the fall foliage, we're getting late into the fall foliage season, but it is still very, very scenic.
Yeah, one of the best years to come up to see the leaves, I bet.
Yeah, exactly. I know many people are up walking Mount Sugarloaf
Yep.
and up on Pecumtuck Ridge and seeing the views of all the beautiful colors. And they were saying with the lack of rain, there's a lot of sugar held in the leaves, allowing the great fall foliage we're seeing.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
but we are broadcasting live from Frontier Regional High School. Athol is visiting. We're still scoreless. Ella Flanders has had 1 shot, 1 save on her. Samantha Kenneth from Athol has had 3 shots, 3 saves. And we remain scoreless going into the second quarter. So Frontier is back on the field, ready to go. And Athol is heading out right now.
Noticed some really good movement this game. Starting from the inner circle up to the 50, down to the other inner circle. Ball moves quick this game.
Exactly. We're seeing the team getting their sticks on the ball. A lot of getting the stick down, doing some stick tackling. We've seen some channeling going on. We see give and goes as well as back passes to utilize switching the field. So Maeve is bringing the ball up. We have a foot. Athol start. And you can see them recovering back to protect that circle. Maeve calling off Allison and trying to clear it out of the circle. This has been a fairly well-matched game. It's been a back-and-forth game. So we're watching as Maeve is trying to get it back. Athol gets it up over the 25, and Brooke Flanders is there to be able to break up that move, takes it to the outside, tries to get a pass up to the forward. She was too far ahead. The ball there's good ball movement, and then all of a sudden it just hits that dead spot and it just stops dead.
Yeah.
No matter how much effort or strength is put behind it. So, didn't carry the ball 5 yards, so that ball comes back to Frontier on that self-start below the 25. So ball is brought up to Shelby Clark. Shelby is trying to recover that ball. She's bringing it to the outside. And it's really important to be able to don't be afraid of using the line. Bringing the ball up the line, keeping your body between you and the defensive player is a really well-developed skill. All right. Obstruction on Frontier with Athol doing a self-start. Back pass, which is legal. Bringing it into the circle. And we have a dangerous
Fly ball.
I know. Yeah. Almost went on a touchdown at this angle. It was heading towards the goalpost on my angle here.
Got that right.
Athol starting at the 25, and Rebecca Wallace-West is there to break it up, bringing it up. Emily DeMeo is standing on the sideline. She'll be switching in for a forward. And drive by Athol. Gets it over the 25, foot on Frontier. And Athol is driving it into the circle, but Maeve is there to break it back up. She does a nice pull to the right, and then passes the ball up to the forward. The forward is moving it. Shelby gets it up over the 50-yard line. We have an obstruction on Athol, self-start by Frontier. Allison is taking the drive, gets the top of the ball, goes about, I would say about 5 yards. We talk yards in field hockey. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I do.
I honestly don't know where that comes from. We do have the 50-yard line. We have the 25-yard. All right, Allison passes it up to Shelby. Shelby takes it with a reverse stick. Reverse stick is really difficult to manage with a lot of dribbling. Using a reverse stick to do a pull is great, but at this level, mostly working on using the strong side of the stick, using your right side. Allison has the self-start for Frontier. She's carrying it, passes it, but is intercepted by Athol. Goes back to Maeve on Frontier. Maeve's looking to pass it up, and back to Athol. Athol's taking advantage, and Maeve runs right back into the ball. Back pass to Allison over the 50. And Brooke breaks up the play. Brooke brings it up over the 50. We just have some back and forth going on at this point. So Athol with the self-start gets it up over the 25. And we can see the Frontier defense falling back in, and they're gonna man up with anybody in that circle. They want to cut down any risk of the advantage of Athol shooting on their goal keep. And Chelsea Camp is in for Allison Barnes. Allison getting a quick breather. Alrighty, and so now we have, for Athol, we have Ava York going in for Krista Cucci. And Shelby Clark is coming off with Lila Roach heading in. Keeping those fresh legs is huge. Zach Lino now joins me in the booth.
A little late guess, but I still made it, right?
You still made it. You only missed the first quarter.
There you go.
Let me guess, you fell asleep.
No, I wasn't asleep.
Okay, all right.
Got my times mixed up.
All right. Well, we're all,
Yeah.
It's
It's been a funky kind of year.
Yeah, it has. It has. All righty. So Josh Levine, who was with me earlier, is a senior here at Frontier. He's also he was double dutying with the camera. Zach Lino is also a senior here at Frontier. And I'm Stacy Chapley.
All right, now that we've got the whole crew together here, we'll get right back to some commentary.
So we're watching a lot of back and forth. Fairly well-matched team. This Athol team with their line of juniors are very deep with their skills. And they're giving Frontier a run for their money.
It'll be interesting to see how each team holds up as time goes on. We'll see what team can have that little bit left in the tank to push through here.
Exactly. And you know, there is a difference here in rosters size-wise. So Missy has been doing a lot of subbing and keeping fresh legs out there. So Savannah's coming off the field, and Emily DeMeo is in. Right now, Athol is just outside the circle with the self-start. And defense by Frontier is that they are going man-to-man inside that circle. They are not going to give that advantage. All right, we have a shot on goal that goes wide.
And Frontier did an amazing job there just clogging up that space so Athol couldn't get an easy shot there.
Exactly. And it's really, it's really important. Those sticks have to be on the ground. Allison just came in for Brooke Flanders, giving her a break. It's a lot of running. It's all about the conditioning here. The stick skills are really important, and it's amazing to see the change when these players actually get to play on turf.
Yeah. And again, with the less players due to COVID, you're putting more pressure on less players, so the conditioning really becomes a key part of it.
Yes. Allison's trying to get down low on that ball stick tackles, causes an obstruction, picks up the ball for a self-start. She gets a nice strong push pass.
Athol's going to have to hurry back here or else they're in trouble.
Yep. Lila Roach with the ball, going over the 25, heading to the circle. Devin is on the far side. Pass to the center to Emily. Emily takes it, brings it in the circle. And right now, this is an opportunity for Frontier to take advantage.
And again, it's all about keeping the pressure on the opposing team here. If you can keep that ball on the other side of that field, it helps out more than one way.
Exactly. If you don't, we've had a lot of back and forth, and that really is going to do a number of
the fatigue will set in.
The fatigue, exactly. I'm thinking exhaustion. Fatigue is a great word to use.
Athol pushing right back across, responding here.
So Emma Clancy's on the sideline. Looks like we got another set of fresh legs going in just a minute. And a lot of our players here on Frontier have been with the program since 7th grade, and now they have moved up, playing all 6 years on the team.
Yeah, and that training, that coaching can really help out a lot, especially that all those years of experience. They aren't for nothing.
Right, and the exciting part is seeing the youth league now that are here a lot of times after the games practicing. So that will help build the Frontier program with more experienced players with skills versus where they're coming in raw in 7th grade with little to no stick skills. So
if you can build that field hockey community early, it's definitely going to help when they get up to higher up echelons of play here.
Exactly. So Emma Clancy's in for Chelsea Camp. And we're back with an attack by Frontier at the 25. And Lila is heading towards the goal. It's her and the goalie. Shot on goal, save.
Staying with it.
Staying, another shot on goal. And
go stoppage here.
We have a foot. So it's a corner. Starting at the 25, I really do miss the corners, though. I really do miss the corners, the quickness of the play. A little air dribbling going on there by Maeve, which can be really helpful in moving the ball, because it really confuses the defensive player. Like, how do you play somebody bouncing a ball on their stick?
Our whole defensive strategy has to change.
Exactly. So Maeve with the push into the circle, shot on goal, save.
Frontier's doing a good job so far of applying pressure.
Definitely a much more aggressive team right now in the second quarter than what we saw in the first. So start by Athol, and looks like a little communication problem going on there. So by both teams, in fact. Alrighty. So obstruction called on Frontier, self-start by Athol. And it right there
Frontier picks it off.
Lila's right there to grab it, carrying it up on that reverse stick, which works really well on the turf, but it can get a little hairy with the grass. But she is still able to keep control of it. Back pass to Allison. Allison's looking to pass it back to her. Taking it, she drives.
Oh.
And it hits the post.
Oh, one high.
Another shot on goal, save.
Frontier's all
another shot. Lila was right there to get that rebound.
Yeah, and Frontier's just being ravenous so far in the attack.
Yeah, you got to get hungry. You got to want it.
Yeah.
You know, with that ball going up high to the corner and bouncing off the post, you don't normally see that a lot of times.
I'm assuming that's more rare.
So a lateral drive to the right.
And the field is wide open if Athol can get a good push through here.
Exactly. And it's up to whoever is playing that back defense. Obstruction on Frontier, and Frontier's resetting their defense.
Yeah, they just hustled right back to get to it.
Allison is playing what we call a midfielder. So the midfielder, I think, is one of the most difficult jobs. Every job's difficult. Every job's difficult. But the midfielder is playing up. They're helping out the forwards. They're falling back to play that defense.
They do a little bit of everything.
They do a little bit of everything. And the way Frontier plays is everybody comes back and forth on offense and defense. But if you have a strong midfield, that's really important.
It's a nice core aspect of a good field hockey team.
Exactly. And this year, we're down a senior. Amelia Sobieski is out with a knee injury, and she had developed a really strong presence in the midfield last year on their march to a Western Mass championship.
Obviously, you hope not to see any injuries, and if they do happen, you hope for quick recovery for the
Right.
player.
Nice strong push pass by Allison to get it up over the 25. And Emily is looking to get it over the 50 as a Frontier Red Hawk
Frontier's
attack.
pushing.
Devin has it.
Athol defense trying to reset here.
Ooh, just lost control off the stick, and Athol was able to recover on that. Otherwise, it would have been
Frontier staying with it. Hold on here.
Rebecca Wallace West on her attack, sending it to the circle. Bad bounce, but Emily has
recuperating.
control. And trying to get it centered, trying to get a stick on it. It is right there.
Yeah.
This is just like, oh my God.
Right
All
on
right.
the cusp of it.
So we have a couple more shots on goals that were deflected. So, I mean, we can see the advantage in the second quarter. Frontier is attacking.
Yeah.
They've been dominating that attack. Not to say Athol hasn't had their opportunities either.
Yeah. And obviously, I think this is still a good testament to Athol's defense being able to hold off Frontier's voracious attack for this long.
Exactly. Right there, and sent it across the center. We have a corner.
That's going to do it for the quarter.
Thank you. Hey, Jake, can you give us like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Making sure our hearts are still working.
I lost track of the clock and didn't realize. So we're at halftime, and we're going to take... Few of the parents are still recovering from that shock. You get really into.
Yeah, you get so consumed in the game.
I mean, it's like right there, and you want that goal to go in. And I wasn't paying attention to the clock. I didn't realize it had gone down that far. So we're having an 8-minute half time break, and we're gonna be back with you at the start of the second half. And welcome back to Frontier High School. We are just winding down halftime for the Frontier Field Hockey game against Athol. Just to recap, it is 0-0.
But I don't think it's very indicative of all the effort that these players are putting in, you know? You see them run back and forth. Both sides have been very close the whole game.
Right, they have been in the circle a lot.
Yes.
But it really came out in the second quarter with Frontier getting 5 shots on goal.
Yeah.
None got past the goalkeep, Samantha Kenneth. But it's they call it the pepperinger.
Yeah, and
But they just got to make that connection and find that empty spot.
And I think there's definitely some credit deserved for the goalkeeper, but not all the pressure can be placed on them solely for the defensive end. You also have to hold some of the defensemen, the forwards, and the what would you say, the midfielders accountable for stopping that ball before it gets into that danger area.
Exactly. So right now, they've reversed fields, but we have a pretty cloudy. Looks like a pretty cloudy rest of the afternoon looking out over the west sky here. And so Frontier will be starting with the ball. And that amazes me how these goalies can run with all that equipment
yeah, all
on.
that padding on. Good hustle.
They can. I could see myself running with that equipment on and then just kind of going
tanking.
Flat on my face.
Guess it's good why they're playing and we aren't then.
Yes. All right, Emily DeMayo starts off with the ball. Looking up, we have a foot.
The defenders.
Self-start.
Through.
They are looking to get it. Devin
right there.
Takes the shot.
Pass inside.
And it is a goal. So Emily DeMayo gets the goal with the assist from Devin Prusak. At the 14:44 mark.
That was some great player movement to create a nice look inside.
So 14:44 in the third quarter.
Now pressure's on Athol to see if they can respond here.
And so that was like boom.
Yeah,
right out of the gate. Whatever Coach Missy Maher said to them really fired them up
That's
that time.
what you want to see. Like driving down center, kicks it.
Alrighty. Rebecca Wallace-West brings it over the 25. She's looking to try and get it to the circle. We have a foot on front Athol. Emily's looking to do that attack. And corner.
Just runs into a wall of Athol players.
Yeah, Athol got a foot on it, though, so that means we recover the ball for the corner, which starts at the 25, which I really do miss those corners. But it's all about the safety for the players.
Yes.
All right, back pass to Maeve. Maeve's looking to bring it over the 25 back and drives towards the circle. Devin gets a stick on it.
Inside.
Emily's right there with it. Shot on goal, save.
Frontier not giving up.
And another corner.
Frontier's right there.
They are hungry now.
Yeah, they scored quick out the break, and they're right back at it.
Alrighty. So back pass to the center. Doing a little bit of give and goes there. Didn't quite get the spin on the ball that Maeve was looking for.
Athol trying to push it back the other way now. Frontier trying to reset their D.
1-zip.
Athol pushing through midfield. Frontier trying to stop it.
All right. Maeve recovers, passes it to the outside, and Lila Roach was going one-on-one. She was able to get it back to the center, back to Maeve. Maeve is holding down that midfield position.
Maeve's still pushing with it.
She gets it over. Nice pass to Rebecca. Rebecca does a back sweep, and it goes wide. So it's in watching the 7v7. Players who have played a forward are now playing a midfield.
Yeah.
Some of the midfielders are playing defense or
the game
sweeper.
has changed.
So, and the adaptability of these players to do that. So right now we have a corner again. Lila is taking it on the 25.
And since I joined in late, Athol just hasn't even had a breather here. Frontiers just maintained that pressure throughout.
Right, and you know, once again we're looking at numbers, and Frontier has numbers on their side to keep those legs fresh.
Yes.
And last quarter, Missy Mahar, another shot on goal, miss.
Pushing
Emily's
inside.
right there for the rebound, hits Athol foot, cornered back up to the 25. But you know, second quarter, Missy Mahar was doing a lot of subbing and keeping fresh legs in there, and maybe that, you know, part of that is why we're seeing good, strong
Yeah, and that
playing
bench,
in the second
that
half
bench
here.
depth can be huge, especially as the game goes on later in.
So
Right now-
Emma Clancy's running to catch up for defense, getting a stick around in front, obstruction, and Athol self-starts, bringing it up over the 25. I think it's the first time this quarter.
Yeah, feet inside, picked off by Frontier.
Maeve has a hold of it. She's looking to pass up to Devin, and
Dave stays with it.
staying with it. Nice pass on along the sideline, and
Devin loses it.
that was perfect, bringing that stick in, sweeping it off of the offense's stick, and reversing direction.
Devin's pushing it up here. Athol trying to get a stop. They want to turn the momentum around.
Oh. Now some of these players that are now 11th graders, Lila and Emily, have been playing on the varsity since 8th grade. And then many of them have been playing since 9th grade. So they're, you know, the Frontiers players are very seasoned.
Yeah, and obviously
In that
there's
respect.
a lot of development that goes into it. And you get to see them really blossom into great field hockey players as their time goes on in the program.
Right. Right now we're seeing a lot, Frontier trying to stay spread out. Athol picks up the self-start there. And Lila is able to pick that ball right off. She's taking it up the sideline. Once again, here we go, back and forth. Athol is not backing down.
And it's important that Athol tries to turn around that pressure, because if they don't, it's going to be really hard to get out of it if that deficit keeps growing.
Exactly. Rebecca passes to Emily. Emily's trying to get around Athol. And nice little stick handling, pull.
Oh, trying to weave through.
Loses the ball, but hits Athol's foot for a corner.
Surprised you didn't say you missed the corners there.
I do miss the corners. This
Big
is a
fan.
recording.
Big fan of the corners.
All right, Lila's coming out with Allison coming in. Nice fresh legs. And it's, a lot of it is communication too. It's being able to talk to your teammates, playing together, anticipating where they should be on the field, so that when you have a player in your face, you go to pass, you know that player's going to be there.
Frontier again, just shutting off any push Athol starts to put together.
Yep. Give and goes going on here. And Emily brings it up over the 25, looking to get a pass. Can't quite do it. Athol is all over her, but obstruction called on Athol. Allison for the self-start, carries it, bringing it in for a drive inside the circle. Emily with the backhand.
Flips it around.
Shot on goal save. Athol's not going to give in easy. We're still at 1-0. Frontier leading.
Starting to push it the other way. Ooh.
All right. Whoop. Called against Frontier. Self-start by Athol. Devin is right in the mix with that ball. And we have a foot advantage Frontier as Frontier makes... Ref is holding the whistle. Oh, yes!
Frontier.
Devin scores with an assist, I believe, from Rebecca Wallace-West at 7:28.
2-0, Athol. Starting to fall behind here.
So that's one assist, one goal for Devin. in the third quarter. So we are now up 2-0 in the assist from Rebecca Wallace-West. All right, Devon's coming off for a breather with Savannah Upton heading in for her.
Again, Frontier's bench is a huge part of this team. Just being able to get those fresh legs in very often is a huge help.
Chelsea Camp trying to get the control of the ball away from Athol, passes it up to the forward. Emily's got control. Nice leading pass up to Savannah Upton over the 25. Savannah enters the circle. We have a foot against Athol, corner.
Just some beautiful passing going on by Frontier, really getting that offense involved.
That is how you really are going to be able to play against a team that's basically in your face.
Yeah.
Is you got to do those give and go passes. All right, back pass to Chelsea. Chelsea, we had a player come in from the side substitute, went right after that ball. Obstruction called on Athol. Self-start by Frontier. Allison right now is working her way towards the circle. And back sweep towards the middle. Emily with the ball. Shot on goal. Save. Kicked out. And, another shot on goal goes wide. So Athol will start at the top of the circle. Shelby Clark is waiting on the sidelines to come in and give somebody a rest.
And if you're Athol, you can't get too stressed out that you're down 2-0. You just got to start to put together a good offensive push here. Try to cut in that Frontier lead.
Exactly. We have 5:51 remaining in the third quarter. All right. Pass didn't quite go, I think, in the direction they were hoping it would go. We have obstruction or three-way interference here by Frontier. Athol starts it, but here comes Savannah interrupting that ball. So.
And Frontier's team chemistry is really showing here. It's really solid. Each player knows what they've got to do, and they're going out and doing it.
Exactly. So once again, we have obstruction against Athol. Pass up over the 25 to Savannah. Savannah gets it into the circle, but Athol recovers it. So right now, Savannah was channeling her to the outside, but a nice pull and drive up over the 25. Athol is bringing it back up. Foot on Frontier. Athol with the move.
And a couple nice plays here in a row by Athol. At least gets him over midline.
Yes. And let's see. All right. So we have Shelby in to give Rebecca Wallace-West a breather. Fresh legs. I think that's going to be a big game changer here.
Yeah, I think that's going to be part of the narrative here tonight of why Frontier's leading.
Yep. Foot on Athol. Frontier with the self-start, bringing it back down over the 25. Advantage on Frontier. And we had a held whistle again. So, doing a lateral pass across the top of the 25. Obstruction on Athol. Frontier self-start.
And Athol, you got to give them credit. They're willing to go toe-to-toe against Frontier's grit and grind here. They're not willing to back down.
Exactly. And Allison making her way through the circle, but Athol's able to get a stick on it. And foot on Frontier. Athol's going to start at the top of the circle. So, a long pass, but, not quite. Three-way interference. So one Frontier player ran in front while the other one was getting the ball and interrupted the Athol from getting the ball. So they'll call that like a three-way.
Okay. Good to know. A lot of motion going on.
A lot of motion going on here with my arms. But Allison gets down and dirty and interrupts that drive.
Right through.
Yes.
Frontier pushing it. Emily with it. Weaving through some Athol defenders. Athol stops.
Chelsea's there to pick up the loose ball. Brings it back over the 25. Athol is getting getting down and dirty, getting gritty, I should
Yes,
say.
grit and grind.
They are not going to go down easy.
Neither is Frontier. Look at that. The energy put in by both teams here is very impressive. And obviously, the maneuverability you can have with the stick and the ball is different compared from turf to grass. So
Yeah, you still have
adjusting
that,
to
same motion happening, but you're not dealing with the unevenness of the grass. And
Yeah.
we've said this on the past games, how great the Frontier Grounds crew is here at maintaining a well kept field.
Yeah.
But there's still nothing.
There's still a little dead spots here, or a little turf
Yeah.
clump there. Yeah.
Yeah. The ball can die very quickly
Mm-hmm.
with the length of the grass, and we've been to fields where you're talking 2 inches, and in the rule book it says it can't be more than, I believe, 3/4 of an inch long.
Yeah, so it's a huge difference. It's obviously got a large impact.
Right. And because there's no football season this year, all the field hockey games are being played here on the football field with the stands versus the traditional place, which is right out back by the parking lot.
So 1:15 left in the third.
Frontier is up 2-0 with goals by Emily DeMeo and Devin Prusek. And the Frontier girls are wearing their pink socks in support of breast cancer awareness.
Good cause with a nice color showing for the socks.
Exactly.
All right. Athol trying to get a good push here going.
They got it over the 25 a couple of times,
Yeah.
but they just haven't been able to capitalize. All right, on the outside, I believe that is Shelby Clark pulling the ball up along the line. Stops, dodges.
Look how quick the game can change. Frontier right back on the other end.
Yes.
20 seconds left here in the third.
We just got our pre-warning for
Yeah.
the horn.
A little time check. Athol picks it off.
Yep.
They're going to have to do a quick drive here.
Yeah, they're going to try and have to gain some ground. Tries to get a strong push pass in, but
And
didn't get a
Frontier's gonna
solid
stop
stick
it.
on it.
Yeah. That should do it.
All right, and there's the end of the third quarter. Right now, Frontier is leading 2-0 with, once again, goals by Emily DeMeo, assisted by Devin Prusek, and then Devin got her goal and was assisted by Rebecca Wallace-West. We have 6 shots on goal, 2 going in the third quarter. So,
Big credit to the goalie, though. They've stopped more than they've let in.
exactly. You have to be fearless.
Yeah.
That's a hard ball.
Yeah. It's not fun to get hit with.
No. And even with the sticks flying, it can be, it's hard. It
Yeah.
really is.
Difficult task.
Yeah. Luckily, time has changed over the years, and our coach Leslie Wickline, who's the assistant coach, the JV coach, has been an assistant coach for over 30 years here at Frontier.
Wow.
She played for Frontier back in her high school days, and she was the goalie.
Yeah.
And basically, it was just kind of like a thick wool padding.
You didn't really
As a
get the
goalie.
protective, professionally made pads that you have now.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff is heavy duty
Yeah.
for stopping, but it's still kind of scary.
Yeah. No 100% protection, but
Right. And Ella Flanders started here as a 7th grader, right in goalie gear. She came in wanting to be a goalie, and she's been working hard. And as a sophomore, has gotten the nod to start for the varsity team.
good dedication to being that goalie for Frontier.
Right. Her older sister is a senior on the team. Brooke is playing defense or sweeper. It's, we have this 1-2 Flanders punch in the defensive side of things. So,
That helps to the team chemistry aspect as well. It all ties together.
It does. It does. And you know, there's a lot of training that goes on throughout the season, through off season.
Yeah.
All right, Emily. Oh, they called Emily for obstruction. She started off with an air dribble.
Yeah, nice little show. Pushing it right back the other way, right after the stop.
Yeah, with the air dribble, if you're air dribbling, you have to avoid the defender. And
Can't be near him.
can't be near them. The defender can step up to you to try and take the ball down, but if you're moving forward, you have to avoid the defense. It's a safety issue. And a lot of the rules they come up with is for safety reasons.
Athol's now getting in that range.
All right, we have obstruction or a hack on Athol. Second ref is calling it back so that there is a stop, then self-start.
Okay.
He felt there wasn't enough of a stop before Maeve started her self-start. Once again, Frontier is on the attack
Emily
over the
driving
25.
middle. 3 defenders on her. Trying to weave it past.
Oh,
Gets it to go.
And score by Rebecca Wallace-West.
Very fine play by Frontier's offense.
13:56 in the fourth quarter. She was assisted by Emily DeMeo. So we have this triplicate here. All 3 of our scorers have been in on an assist.
Well, that shows they're helping him more than just direct scoring.
Exactly.
They're also facilitating, which is huge for the offense.
So the last game, there was a couple of scores, and there was so many bodies, you couldn't figure out whose stick actually put it in. And usually on the field, even the coaches won't know, and you'll hear the coaches yelling out, "Who scored that one? Who scored that one?"
There can be a little confusion when there's so many players that close to the goal.
Another shot on goal, kicked away by Athol's goalie, Samantha Kniff.
And Frontier with a large lead, they still aren't giving up. They want to bury it here.
Right, exactly. There's only, I believe, 8 games. So, they really want to make the best.
Yeah, they want to maximize what they get.
Yeah. There's no playoffs, no Western Mass this year. Frontier will have their final home game on Friday. So we'll be bringing this live to you again on Friday, right, Zach?
Yes, Friday. 4 p.m. start.
All right.
Athol pushing.
But Maeve is getting down and dirty with that stick. Dropping that stick onto the ground and almost making it a barrier and then pulling and hooking the ball.
And even though I think most people's takeaway from tonight will be Frontier's amazing offense, their defense is a large credit to making the offense run so well.
Exactly. So Madison McKemmy just came in for Maeve. Madison is a 9th grader. A lot of credit to her hard work and being a freshman on the team. So.
Drive by Athol.
Yes.
2-on-3, Frontier's numbers.
Yeah. So right now we're going to be seeing, we also have, let's see, Summer Sobieski, a sophomore, getting some game time.
Backward Emily.
Emily on the drive, brings it over the 25, into the circle.
Right in the middle.
Pulls.
All the way through.
All the way through.
Coast to coast action.
All right, at 11:26 in the fourth quarter, Emily DeMeo gets her second goal, 4th for Frontier.
This is a good feel for Frontier if you're seeing that strong lead, but you can't get complacent with it.
Right.
Still double-digit time left.
All right, so we got Shelby Clark going in, as well as Savannah Upton, with Emily coming and taking a breather, and Devin. So the opportunities for some nice fresh legs out there. So for forwards we have Savannah, Shelby, and Summer. Defense, Lila's moved back to defense with Allison and Madison McKemmy kind of switching off on that sweeper position.
Yeah, again, with the fewer players, everybody has to kind of more play a fluid role on the team.
All right, shot by Athol goes very wide.
Yeah.
But they got there. They were in
That's
the circle.
important. That's important.
So, with some younger players out there right now, this is a good learning time.
Yeah, really good experience.
So Madison McKemmy's bringing it up to the top of the circle. She's looking to see who to pass to. Passes it to Lila. Lila's trying to get it to Summer, but it just didn't quite get the speed that she needed. All right. Self-start by Athol. Athol's trying to bring it into that circle. Summer breaks it up. Madison trying to clear it.
It's all very close. Athol's starting to get closer to the goal. Pushing right inside.
Yep. Allison with the sweep. And, all right, the ball went right up Savannah's stick, so that's called against Frontier. Self-start by Athol. Just rolled right up her stick, right over her hand.
Again, with the speed and the cross switch and all that momentum you get on the ball, it can move in some unpredictable ways sometimes.
Exactly. So we have Shelby on the far side. Shelby, I believe, is a 10th grader. Nope, she's an 11th grader now.
Pushing it up.
You lose track of them.
It's a large roster.
Been watching these young student athletes playing for, since 7th grade. So Summer's got a hold of the ball, trying to bring it up over the 25. And Athol gets called with obstruction, so self-start. Madison to put it right back in there. Working their way in. Sweep by Savannah. Shot. Save. Keep pushing it. They keep pushing it. Madison's trying to keep it in the circle.
And some more grit and grind plays
here.
There
we go.
Another stop.
Another stop, but that wasn't considered a shot because she released the ball outside the circle and nobody touched it.
Okay.
So technically, the goalie could have let it go into the goal and it would never have counted. So if you're not in the circle by the offensive team, it won't count. One of those crazy rules. We've seen people get all excited. The fans get all excited.
Yeah, and then it's waved off.
And it's waved off. So Maddie doing a little movement around. Gets the ball off to Summer. Summer is working on keeping it inside the 25. Madison is right on top of tracking that ball.
Yeah.
All right, we have a stoppage, bringing out a card. So they're giving a green card to Summer Sobieski. She wasn't 5 yards on the self-start when she went after the ball. Athol had that self-start. So Frontier will be down a player as Summer has a 2-minute penalty. So that can, that's...
Yeah, that could be a factor here in Athol's offensive.
Yep. So that was a lift considered dangerous. Frontier self-start. Whoop. Try to get some power behind it. Not quite getting the stick on the ball.
Athol just having to grind through every time they go past that midline.
All right.
Frontier's not giving an inch.
No, obstruction called on Frontier self-start. And Lila's there keeping it out of the 25, and she's bringing it along the outside. Self-start. And over the 50.
Pass ahead.
Into Savannah. We have a call against Frontier, but Madison is right there. She is stepping up to the ball. I think we're starting to see some fatigue on Athol's part right now.
Again, without that depth like Frontier has, it can start to wear on the players over time.
Yep. All right. Madison hustles back, gets a stick on the ball, steals it back from Athol. We got some back and forth going around the 50-yard line. All right, Athol making their way up over the 25.
Inside here.
And we have a hack. She went for the ball, missed the ball, hit Frontier's stick. Lily Markey, nice pass up, clearing it. But you got to remember, you got to step to the ball. You can't let the opposing team step in.
Can't hit it right back to the opposing.
Yep. Shelby is working her way back up over the 50, reverse, and nice defensive moves there, sweeping it off the stick. Shelby never gave up and is still moving forward. Obstruction.
Frontier's energy seems limitless here. It really does.
Athol with the counter attack. And Lily Markey breaking it up with a stick tackle.
Frontier applying more pressure on Athol here.
Yep, Shelby inside the circle. Let's see if we can keep it in the circle. And Athol defense is saying no way.
Yep, they clear it out.
We've got just under 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So we're seeing a lot of back and forth. We're seeing some fatigue. So we have Maddie Lustenberger going in for Savannah Upton. Chelsea Camp is waiting on the sideline to give someone else a break. Everybody's working hard here. And those fresh legs are playing a big difference late here in the game, I think.
Yeah. Frontier applying more offensive pressure, which we've seen them do all game.
All right, Maddie inside the circle, looking to capitalize, but Athol defense sweeps it out. And obstruction on, or hack on Frontier, and Athol's going to do a self-start from below their 25. And Chelsea Camp goes in to give Lila Roach a break. And Madison McKemmy looking to pull to the right. Interference by Athol, self-start. Now, the Athol player wasn't 5 yards away, but she didn't try to initiate contact with the ball, so she was able to squeak by without being called on it. If it happens again, we might see a yellow card come out, and that's going to be a 5-minute penalty. Maddie's got a hold of the ball. She's bringing it up over the 50.
And obviously, there's a 5-minute penalty. They'd be out for the rest of the game at that point.
At that point, yes.
Yeah. Oh, 10 goals, some sticks.
Ruh-roh. All right, and Malak Ibrahim is in for Shelby Clark. All righty. And Madison trying to bring it up, but no Frontier
Nobody
players
was there, yeah. They cleared it, but it was all Athol.
And Lily Markey takes it, passes it up.
What a play. Frontier's still not giving up.
Haley Hutkowski, another 9th grader, looking to get some field advantage here. And she has a really good drive. She gets a hold of that ball. She's going to move that ball. And Maddie gets a hold of the ball, pops it off of Frontier, but, off of Athol. We're going back and forth here. All righty. Resetting themselves.
Back way ahead we go for Athol. Frontier's going to shut off that drive.
Madison moving along, and Once again, Maddie's bringing it up towards the 25. Self-start by Frontier. Gets it up almost to the circle.
Trying to stop it, body hits the floor. I think you can see the fatigue set in just a touch.
Just a little bit. But right now we have several 11th grade, strong 11th graders holding that defensive midfield line. So right now we have a self-start by Athol. And Lily getting right in there, getting a stick on it.
Athol just trying to get a little bit of something to put on the books here.
Yeah, we are under a minute. We got 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Into crunch time here.
Crunch time. Still got whistles going.
Action's still afoot here. People are still pushing it.
All right. Getting
Good
our
time check from our booth.
Yeah, 30-second from the game clock keeper. And Athol is trying to get that last push inside the circle. Defensively,
Frontier clears it.
Frontier's not going to have it.
No. They don't even want him to get this shot.
And we
That'll
are going to
do it.
wrap it up here at Frontier Regional.
A very strong 4-0 Frontier win.
Yeah, so we have two goals by Emily DeMeo with one assist by her. Devin Prusak with a goal and an assist. And Rebecca Wallace-West with a goal and assist. So, nice showing by Frontier.
Yeah.
Definitely a much stronger second half.
Mm-hmm.
So,
They played hungry, and they were ultimately the team that just wanted it more and pulled through with a very solid win.
exactly. So, thank you to FCAT and the crew for bringing this game, live streaming this game.
Yep.
And we look forward to doing this all again on Friday, 4 o'clock.
Yep. This was high school Frontier girls field hockey.
I'm Stacy Chapley.
And I'm Zach Lino.
Have a great afternoon.